Welcome back to Whatever You Need, the only platform in the digital landscape where we refuse to accept the headlines at face value. Here, we do not merely report on the storm, we study the pressure systems that create it. For days now, the rumor mill, that relentless machine that grinds celebrity lives into dust, has been churning with a singular, devastating narrative that Afra Saraçoğlu and Mert Ramazan Demir, the crown jewels of Turkish drama, have gone their separate ways. The speculation has weighed heavily on the collective chest of their fandom, a suffocating fog of unfollowed accounts and deleted memories. This is, after all, a couple whose on-screen combustion in Yali Kapkini was so potent it scorched the lens, a pair whose real-life story seemed to grow from that fiction like a flower pushing through concrete. When the murmurs of a split started echoing through the tabloids, the deafening absence of any statement from either side did nothing but stir the pot, leaving millions wondering what had truly transpired in the quiet spaces between them. But that silence, as it turns out, was not empty. It was not broken by a cold official press release, or a staged paparazzi walk of shame. It was cracked open by the sharp-eyed dedication of the people who know them best, you, the fans. The most observant followers started piecing together seemingly incidental clues, shards of glass that, when assembled, formed a mirror. Separate posts, similar angles, matching glints of light, familiar reflections, and a shared rhythm in how their updates appeared online began to tell a very different story. Today, we are going to walk you through the forensic evidence that contradicts the breakup narrative and whispers the truth. That Afra and Mert are likely still moving through life side by side, laughing at a world that thinks it knows them. Before we open the case file, I need to verify your clearance. Are you subscribed? We are investigating the truth here, not the gossip. And for those who want to help us keep the lights on and the research deep, I strongly urge you to click the join button below. Your support allows us to ignore the algorithm and focus on the art. Now, let us look at the evidence. The first crack in the breakup facade, the first clue that set social media buzzing with the electricity of discovery, came from the most elemental of sources, the background. It started innocently enough. Afra posted a serene, almost melancholic shot with the sea stretching out behind her like a sheet of polished glass, the horizon softened by a distinctive late-afternoon haze, a specific quality of light that suggests a very particular time and place. A few days later, just enough time to throw off the casual observer, Mert shared a photo. To the untrained eye, it was just another handsome actor by the water. But the fans? They zoomed in. They became digital cartographers. They noticed a nearly identical ocean view, characterized by that same bluish, metallic shimmer, and the exact same sliver of iron railing set against the water. But they went deeper. They compared the pattern of the chairs visible in the periphery, the specific weave of the wicker. They analyzed the grain of the wooden table in the foreground, noting a knot in the wood that appeared in both frames like a fingerprint. They noticed a distinctive lantern, wrought from dark metal, sitting behind one frame, and the reflection of a slatted pergola in another. One viral comment summed up the forensic victory: same place, same moment, different posts. It was a location that screamed intimacy, a private sanctuary that they were inhabiting together, even if they were posting apart. And the investigation didn't end with geography. Timing, that quiet accomplice to all great secrets, had a language of its own. Fans noticed a synchronized rhythm to their digital behavior that felt less like coincidence and more like a conversation. Afra's late-night upload, a song, a mood, a quote, was soon mirrored by Mert's account at a near-identical hour. The pattern repeated in the days that followed, a digital heartbeat shared between two devices. It didn't feel accidental to anyone watching closely. To the faithful, it looked like a couple trying to keep their moments sheltered, sharing pieces of their world without handing the full map to the public. The posts breathed the same air without screaming it out loud. This is a sophisticated strategy. People remembered that in the past, when wild, baseless claims had surfaced, those close to Afra and Mert shot them down with the speed of a reflex. This time, there was only quiet. That silence, rather than confirming heartbreak, began to feel like a protective shield, a deliberate choice to build a fortress around their love. They haven't broken up, "They're simply keeping things to themselves," became the mantra in the comment sections. The narrative drifted away from scandal and toward a profound understanding. Privacy is often a stronger answer than a press release. I want to pause here and ask you, the whatever you need family, have you ever noticed these details before we pointed them out? When you see a celebrity couple go quiet, do you assume the worst, or do you assume they are protecting their peace? I want you to go to the comments right now and tell me. What was the specific clue you saw that convinced you they are still together? Was it the lantern? The sunset? Or just the look in their eyes? Pause the video, leave your theory, and don't forget that hitting the join button helps us fund these investigations. Once those threads caught fire, the conversation across social media underwent a metamorphosis. You could read the tone shift in a single scroll. The anxiety of "are they over?" was replaced by the confidence of "they are playing us and we love it." They're as in sync off screen as they are on it, people wrote. They're clearly avoiding the evil eye. This concept of the nazar, or the evil eye, is crucial here. In a culture where envy is believed to fracture happiness, hiding a relationship is not an act of shame, it is an act of preservation. Messages of support rained down, not just for the hope that they were still together, but for the wisdom of their strategy. Fans praised the decision to pull back from the overexposure that destroys so many young couples, to draw a hard boundary between their careers and their connection, to choose the quiet intimacy of a shared secret instead of the theater of public validation. Still, neither Afra nor Mert made an official pronouncement. No captions spelling everything out. No interviews pulling the curtain back. But the evidence assembled by fans lined up too neatly to ignore. Even the gossip circles, usually thirsty for blood, began to shift. As one commentator put it, the love between Afra Saraçoğlu and Mert Ramazan Demir didn't disappear, it simply moved indoors. The investigation deepened. Fans began to track the supporting cast of their lives. Observers compared photos from mutual acquaintances, makeup artists, assistants, childhood friends. Seesawing between accounts and noticing that several people from their inner circle seemed to be in one distinct place at the same time. A friend posted from a seaside terrace with those same distinctive lanterns. Another shared a boomerang of a door swinging open. The distinctive hinge and paint color looked suspiciously familiar to a background in Mert's story. All of it lined up with a simple possibility: this was less about distance and more about intention. Their schedules for the series were brutal, their days long, and the spotlight relentless. Maybe, fans argued, the absence of couple content was not a sign of fracture but an act of extreme care. Keeping their private life intact during an intense filming period could easily explain a deliberate retreat from being seen together. Those following closely insisted that there were still signs of support behind the scenes. Quiet likes on unrelated posts, subtle acknowledgements, the kind of micro-interactions that carry the weight of the world when you know where to look. If they were over, we wouldn't see these parallels again and again, the forums argued. Silence isn't proof of an ending, sometimes it's a shelter. It's worth remembering how the rumor spiral even began. A few weeks of sparse content. A calendar filled to bursting. No candid restaurant snapshots. No hand-in-hand premieres. And then someone said it, maybe they're done. The phrase traveled fast because speculation always travels faster than truth. But fans were unwilling to let a story built on absence become the historical record. By assembling a collage of moments, the wooden table, the sunset, the timing, the reflections, they created a counterstory that felt grounded and persuasive. Even without official confirmation, a portrait emerged. The same tones in their photos. The matching pace of their uploads. The echo of light and ocean and wood and glass across two separate accounts. The vibe of shared mornings and parallel nights. If this were a breakup, it was the most synchronized, harmonious breakup anyone had ever seen. For everyone reading closely, the takeaway was simpler: they're still together, just choosing to tuck their life inside a quieter frame. So here we are, with days of breakup rumors behind us and a stronger, quieter counterstory standing tall in front of us. A narrative not spoken through press conferences, but revealed through crumbs that make a trail only the attentive can follow. It says, there is no grand fracture. There is privacy. There is intention. There is a couple, Afra Saraçoğlu and Mert Ramazan Demir, who seem to be protecting their space while the world tries to step inside the doorway. In the end, nothing has changed publicly. There is still no announced statement from them. There is still no staged photograph to feed the appetite for certainty. But the mood has shifted. The street-level gossip now concedes that the breakup talk doesn't hold water when placed alongside the compiled clues. For the fans who assemble timelines and check angles and match reflections, it's already settled. They believe in the resilience of this love, and they are content to let it live without the constant validation of a camera flash. As for the rest of us watching from the outside, there is something to learn from how this unfolded. Absence can mean many things. Silence can be a choice. Privacy can be an act of devotion. And in the case of Afra and Mert, all signs point to a relationship that is not only intact, but perhaps stronger for the decision to keep it tucked away from the din. We'll be right here, watching respectfully, waiting for the day they decide to speak, or for the next soft hint that slips into the frame. If this analysis helped you see through the fog of rumors, please like the video, it helps us fight the clickbait. Make sure you are subscribed to whatever you need, because the next clue could drop at any moment, and we will be the first to break it down. And once again, click join to become part of our inner circle. Until then, remember, the truest love stories are often the ones you have to look for in the shadows.